Yeah. I apologize for being late for the two students that showed up. You guys get home in a decent time, okay? So if we run a little late, you guys get out of here. Don't be out late, all right? Mom and Dad would probably like for you to get home too. First thing on our agenda tonight is for a moment of silence. So if you'd like to join me in a moment of silence, we're going to begin that now. Thank you. All right, thank you so much. If you can join us tonight in the Pledge of Allegiance, we're going to do that now. pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First thing on our agenda tonight is board member comments and highlights. And tonight I'm going to start with Ms. Hurst.
Was that because you heard me say I didn't have anything prepared?
No.
Just teasing. I just want to highlight one thing tonight, and that is a DECA competition that Miss Laura and I helped be judges for. I've never done anything like that, but they said I was qualified. So I went and judged I think most of mine were probably freshmen. They were taking principles of hospitality and tourism, or they were working on that. That was their event they were competing in. And so I got to listen to several of our high school students from around the area they were given a scenario, 30 minutes to study it, come up with a plan, and then 10 minutes to present it to me. And then the judges had criteria that we judged on. And I was just really proud of our kids. Several freshmen, you could tell they were nervous, but they did a great job. And it was really fascinating to hear what these kids came up with in just 30 minutes of a scenario. So kudos to all of the DECA competitors in Rockingham County. They were also, I believe we had, do we have Harrisonburg and Wilson? No.
Yes, Wilson Monroe.
Monroe was there. So we had, yes, that's the one.
WM.
Yes, William Monroe was there. And so it was just great to hear, just watch the kids excel at something that they had been studying. So that's my highlight for tonight.
That's great. Ms. Laura?
Yes, that was an awesome activity, and I'm glad we got to take part in that. I also was able to go canoeing with the Montevideo Middle School FFA. That was an experience. They got to learn about their watershed and how to protect all the cool critters that they found as they were climbing around in the water. And we didn't. The children only went in the water on their own 2 little feet on purpose. Nobody flipped the canoe. And I had the distinct pleasure of canoeing with 2 young ladies who had never canoed before. So I kept saying things like, okay, ladies, front to back. We're going front to back, because we kept going backwards. And I yelled out duck once, and one got down because the branch was coming, and one looked for the duck. So learned maybe we want different words in the future. But that was a great fun time. And I thank Montevideo Middle School for letting me go with them on that one. And then, also there was the legislators' breakfast that Dr. Shiflett, Ms. Cave, and I got to attend in Page County on the 15th, and got to advocate for our schools, and had a really good time meeting with our legislators. And then we got a tour of the Technical Center in Page County, and it's a nice facility. I'm so thankful for MTC, because definitely the population that we have and the agreement that we have with Harrisonburg really gives us a lot of spending power that Page County doesn't have. I think they have 6 programs, and I think we have 26 programs for MTC. So it was great. It was nice to see their facility, and I'm very thankful to Rockingham County for our facility. So thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Bergloin?
Am I okay? I'm on. Good. Okay. So I will just start this out with saying I know that there's one day before break, and at about 7:45 this morning, I emailed my twins' teacher and said everyone is crazy. And I had multiple phone calls from the school and messages because people got hurt, and just they're just 0 to 90 today. So I just feel like this is on the eve of a break, that all the kids are being wild and crazy. Well, specifically mine. So anyway, I'm hoping and praying for the teachers that it is easier tomorrow, but my children I don't think will be, because they're very excited for Thanksgiving. So my highlights, one, this was totally random, but I took my all three of my kids to the dentist, and we had this great dental hygienist and took care of both of my boys. Super professional, just had a really great experience. And she started asking them where they went to school, and she said, "Oh, I went to the same elementary school as you guys." And then she said, "Yeah, I just graduated high school recently." And I thought, wow. And she said, "Yeah, I went to MTC." So that was really cool. I mean, I was so impressed by her, and she's in her career and just doing awesome things. So that was a really cool highlight for me. And I don't think she realized how much of an impression that made on me, but that was awesome. Last week, I was able to do Thanksgiving at my kids' school, and the entire staff prepared Thanksgiving meal. They made over 400 meals at Linville Edom, and they invited everybody's family. So that was really cool. All of the families got together. They converted the gym into basically like a miniature restaurant and had the entire school decorated in some way. So it was funny. All of the stuff on the walls and on the tables, everyone was thankful for friends and family. So that was really cool. My boys forgot what they made. I don't know how, but anyway, it was really cute. And then I went to a field trip at Seven Bends State Park with my daughter, and we must have just picked the worst day. They had a blast and learned a lot. It was really cool, very educational, but during lunch it started snowing. And so they said, "When you guys are ready, get on the bus." I'm like, "We're ready. Lunch is over." So we came back a little bit early, but it was really cool. It was a really fun trip to go on. And I don't think my daughter even cared I was there. She was just having a great time. So anyway.
Thank you, Ms. Berkling. Ms. Cave?
Thank you. Gosh, I've been preparing for this, and now I feel like I'm not ready. Thank you, Jackie, for talking about the Bring Your Legislator to School Day. That was really cool. And just quickly, a piece that I wanted to say that many of our superintendents talked to our legislators about was the local composite index, and how, the fact that they, state government uses that to factor into the budget. And, our budget was cut this year, and Rockingham, I think if I understood correctly, was a bit higher than lots of the other schools that were there, the school divisions. And so I was really happy about that we got to advocate for that, like, hey, what you're doing on state level is really affecting us here locally. So I was glad to hear that it wasn't just us in Rockingham County complaining about it. So that isn't my real highlight tonight. Tonight I wanted to highlight Miss Kimberly Rauschenberg at Spotswood High School. She is a math teacher there. I just met her, I guess last week, but she has been a teacher for us for 20 years, all at Spotswood, she tells me. And, I talk all the time about wanting Rockingham County to be a destination division, but I don't just want it to be a place that teachers come. I want it to be a place that teachers stay. And so she's just one of the examples that I would use of teachers that are faithfully committed to Rockingham County, and faithful and committed, and maybe long-suffering even, so she might say. Now, she was going to be here tonight, and I wanted her here because I really wanted her to talk more about what I wanted to talk about than what I wanted to talk, but she had an accident on the way here. She's okay. But it was just too much to try to pick up and try to come. So she actually did try to come, and then it was too much. So I asked her if she wanted me to go on with it, and she said to. So I appreciate her putting her trust in me to do this. I want to call her Miss R. I met Miss Rauschenberg through a series of emails that I was getting, my work email, where she has been setting up a paint night fundraiser for her son, Austin, who is diabetic. He is a student in one of our high schools. He is a East Rock Eagle. And, when I met her and I talked to her about, oh my goodness, you've been, blue for a long time at Spotswood. Like, how does that work out with having an eagle? And she's like, well, I tell them that I've been blue a lot longer than they've been red. So she wins out on that. But she's just a great person to be around. But she has a diabetic son. Austin's 15. He was 12 when he was diagnosed. And y'all, this resonates with me. But he's in need. And when I tell you, you might be like, it's not a big need. But if you've ever dealt with type 1 diabetes, you know that it is nothing to play with. It's not a type 2 diabetes, and I'm not negating the
seriousness of type 2, but my mother-in-law's type 2, and we didn't even know because she just takes a pill every day. But with type 1, like you literally, like you can't eat a Tootsie Roll. And this kid is 15 years old, boy. Okay, so he cannot eat anything that he doesn't get an injection for. So it's when he wakes up. His mother's still faithful to make him check every 3 hours to see if he needs a correction. You know, and they've been doing this for 3 years. And so they're working with the, I think the organization is Diabetic Alert Dogs of America, and they're working on getting a dog for him that would be it's not a therapy dog, which are very helpful, but this is a full-on trained service dog. This is why I wanted her here, because I know she's more educated on it than me. But I mean, this is a trained service dog that they train specifically to Austin. So I think it even goes as deep as like them Mrs. Rauschenberg sending samples of when he's high and when he's low. And like they train the dog to smell those smells. These animals are amazing. And she's been working really hard doing fundraisers to raise money for this dog to, really mentally, like I think it would be a huge mental help and mental health help. But physically, this would be a great, great benefit for him. This is a need. Like, this is not just a pet. This is something that could greatly change his life. And so it comes at a cost. And she said, I think she told me 19, I'm going to round it to $20,000. And really, there's a trip to Nevada, I think that's included, that they would have to take the dog there to get the guarantee on it to continue, like if he didn't do as well as what he's supposed to and needed retraining. Like, it is a lot. It is very involved and detailed. And so there's a lot of expenses. Even in having to travel that far, I don't know if that 19,000 included all of that. So this woman, this family, to even be able to, like, I don't know that I could function to put fundraisers together all by myself or whoever she has, that's helping her when you have this great, great need that she's busy taking care of her son. It is every day. It is day and night. And I'm telling you, like, when they're first diagnosed, it's like having an infant. So, actually, Greg, can we go ahead and play that video? Thank you, Greg. Can you leave that up there just while I finish this up really quick? What I was saying was that Ms. Rauschenberg has done several fundraisers. I was going to let her speak on some of the ones that she's done, but she didn't make it tonight. But what I said to her when I met her was that somebody can write that check. They only need 9,000 more. You know, it's for somebody, maybe in this room, maybe watching, maybe we'll watch it in the future. I mean, like, somebody can cut that check, you know, or if we had 10 people that would donate 1,000, like, he could get this dog for Christmas. One of the things that's really important for type 1 diabetic is not dropping too low in the middle of the night. And this dog would be able to sniff that out in case he was sleeping. He would be able to sniff that out and know, and is trained to wake up. And I want to see this. It's Thanksgiving. Like, it's the week of Thanksgiving. It's the Christmas season. I once heard someone say that there's enough resources on planet Earth that no one should go hungry. So my thought is, like, there's somebody out there that can cut that check and we could just be done with the fundraising. And I want to add too that she did not approach me on this. I was getting those emails, and actually my schedule, I've always wanted to go to a paint night and my schedule is so crazy for the next month and a half that I was like, there's no way, but I still want to be able to give. And so I approached her, actually went to Spotswood one day and spent some time with her just to see if she would even be able to, you know, or even would be willing to let me bring this to you. Because she was like, that's not me. She's like, that's not me to get up and ask. And I'm like, I'll do it. I'll do it, because this is community. And Dr. Shiflett, we're putting community into our comp plan. I mean, like, we're writing it into our plan for the next 5 years. So this is part of community, is when we come together and we take care of one another. And this is a great need. And I believe there's somebody out there that could take care of this need. I mean, even tonight. And so that's what I'm asking. I'm asking that, you know, that someone, even if it's $20, whatever, don't feel like what you give is too little. But there are a ton of ways to give. And Mr. Gillette has been awesome, because I think I just gave him this stuff maybe, I don't know, yesterday or today, or maybe the day before, to get all this stuff together. But those are all the ways that you could give on the screen. I mean, this family has set up a total separate account for all of this. There's not $3 that's going to go to, you know, anything but directly to this dog. I mean, this family has been something else. And so, and we would all do it. Like, we would all do it for our kid. Like, there's no price that we wouldn't pay. So I'm just asking you guys to, I mean, you get what you give in life. And so I'm just asking this Christmas season that we could take care of this teacher that has taken care of our children. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Cave. Dr. Shiflett?
Thank you, Chair Cross. So this week is Thanksgiving, and I just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. I am hoping to send out a video message to our students and families tomorrow about Thanksgiving and the importance of maintaining an attitude of gratitude. I will challenge them, as I challenge you tonight, to find 3 things every day, 3 new things for what you're grateful. And if you do this over a period of time, you will begin to rewire the thinking in your brain. It's been scientifically proven. I'm not just talking about some kind of witchcraft here, right? This stuff works because you kind of see what you're looking for, right? So if you spend your day thinking about all the negatives of your job and how you don't like your work and you don't like your boss or the superintendent, then that's what you look for. That's what you see. But if you get up each morning, you look for opportunities to be grateful for things that you're thankful for, or even maybe in hard times, you begin to see those things. And the more you see, the more things you can add to your list. So I challenge you to be grateful, especially during the Thanksgiving season and upcoming holiday season, to have an attitude of gratitude. And while we're here talking about Thanksgiving, I do want to give a shout out. I believe in giving honor where honor is due. And I want to say a special thank you to Katie Lapira and Caitlin Gilkison for helping me finalize the comprehensive plan and putting it in a form that's really, that can be published and put out for the people to understand. And it's not just bullet points on a slideshow. And also I want to give another thank you to our leadership team, Dr. Aldifer, Mrs. Abernathy, Dr. Painter, Justin Moyers. They are willing to step in and fill in for whatever I ask of them. It doesn't matter what I ask. If I say I have a need, they'll say we'll be there. Our son had some surgery today, so I had my calendar was kind of topsy-turvy, and I texted this group over the weekend, said I may need some help Monday, and they just said, what do you need? And I can appreciate them, and I'm very thankful for them. And actually, in all honesty, they do whatever work I was going to do better than me anyway. So it's probably best off that I just send them and I just hang out, right? So I'm very grateful to them. So I want to say thank you to having a great team, and I'm very thankful for them. Mr. Cross?
Thank you, Dr. Schiff. I'll start off tonight then. One of the things that I'm very grateful for that I mentioned yesterday at church was I'm just very conscious this year of the strong women that God has put in my life since I've been a little boy. And the first one that was really means a lot to me is my great-grandmother, Nellie Plogger. She lived to be 100 years old in Charleston, West Virginia. She was born in 1904 and died in 2004. And I'm always asked her, I said, how in the world do you live so long? She said, well, my third husband, her first one got shot on the railroad tracks after a bar fight on Christmas Eve. That was the love of her life. The second one was a shenanigan. He was a boxer, and I ended up leaving her. And then the third one she called Old Man Plogger. And he was 40 years old, and he just took care of her, took care of the kids. And she said, I guess because Old Man Plogger brought me a beer and a hot dog for lunch every day. And so she was a neat lady. Until she was she lived by herself till she was 96. Spent the last 4 years in a nursing home, and I had a chance when she was 94 years old to lead her to Christ. And she means a lot to me. She taught me how to quilt. My second strong woman in my life was my grandmother from Bath County, Maine. During World War II, she was original Rosie the Riveter. She welded boats for the war, and she was a welder. And without her contribution, America wouldn't be what it is today. My mother, who was a foster child, is growing up. How she stands today and gets through life. I'd see that if anyone can do it, if she can do it, then anybody can do it. And so I'm really grateful for my mom in my life. And then most of all, I'm very grateful for my wife. Without my wife, I wouldn't be here tonight. And I thank God for these strong women that he's put in my life. And as I thought about Thanksgiving season this year, was so grateful for the strong women that God put in my life. So I just wanted to give them a shout out tonight. My highlights this week at this board meeting was I had an opportunity to go to Spotswood and speak to the Youth and Government Club. And that was fun. It was fun to get to see some of the kids in there and be able to speak to them and talk to them about our accomplishments as a board this past year. And I'm able to answer some of their questions that they had. So I had a good time doing that. And I also wanted to give a shout out. We had some state champion winners from Spotswood High School and from Broadway. So Tristan Yoder from Broadway High School is the male cross-country state champion of the state of Virginia. Shout out to Tristan Yoder from Broadway High School, and Peyton Keene came in second place. So we had two state champion runners for cross-country from Rockingham County and the boys at Ralph Top. And then our girls cross-country team from Spotswood won the states, and just a shout out to them for an incredible job that they did. Do we have any of those here tonight on the state team? Okay, I was wondering, you look familiar. I didn't know whether you was part of that team. But I got a chance to watch them throughout the year, and what a great bunch of kids and a great athletes those kids are. So to win, we had a hog day at state champions for cross country. It was an incredible opportunity for Rockingham County to shine. So shout out to them. Shout out to the coach for all that you did this year too, and keep up the good work. All right, so this will move us on tonight from our board highlights to action items. And the first thing on our agenda tonight is to approve the minutes for the November 11th, 2024 meeting. And do I hear a motion to do that?
I move we approve the minutes from the November 11th, 2024 meeting as presented.
Thank you, Ms. Lord. Do I have a second?
Second?
Thank you, Ms. Hurst. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes. Yes. All right, motion passes 5-0. And next on our list tonight is field trips. And Dr. Shiflett, you have that.
Chair Cross and board members, I have one field trip for your consideration. Elton Middle School FCCLA State Leadership Conference, April 3rd through the 6th, 16 students for Virginia Beach. And I do recommend approval of this field trip.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion, school board?
I move to follow the superintendent's recommendation to approve the field trip as presented.
Thank you, Ms. Hurst. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Cave. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. All those, did you say Ms. Berkling? All right. That sounded like Ms. Cave, so put down Ms. Berkling for that. Second. Any questions, comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say yes. Yes. All right. Motion passes 5-0. Next on our list tonight is high school course offerings, and Ms. Liza Kaufman, you have that. Good to see you tonight.
Good evening, Chair Cross, members of the board, Dr. Shiflett. I am back this evening to ask for approval for action on the proposed high school course list that I presented at our last meeting for information. Glad to answer any questions or entertain a motion.
Chair Cross and board members, I recommend approval of the high school course offerings for the 2025-2026 as presented by Liza Kaufman, Director of Support Services.
Board members, do I hear a motion?
I move to follow the superintendent's recommendation to approve the high school course offerings for the 2025-2026 school year.
Thank you, Ms. Lord. Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Cave. Now, any questions for Ms. Liza Kaufman? She's up here with us. Anybody? All right.
Just a quick clarifying question. All of these are offered during the registration process, but subject to enrollment minimums.
Yes, ma'am.
So they'll be offered at all high schools, but.
Well, two, right?
Well, for the, so we would have them all open at registration time, but then the particular high schools, depending on staffing, can determine what exactly becomes live action in the fall.
Got it.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
All right. Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes. Yes. All right. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
very
tonight.
much.
All right. Next on our list tonight is policy revisions, and Mrs. Becky Tennell has that. Good to see you again.
Good to see you all again. Chair Cross, Dr. Shiflett, members of the board. November 11th, I brought you policies for information, and I'm coming back tonight to see if you're ready to take action on them.
Chair Cross and board members, I recommend approval of the policies as presented by Becky Tennell, Supervisor of Attendance, Compliance, and Title IX.
All right. So moved. Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Lohr. Any questions or comments while we have Ms. Tennell here? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor say yes. Yes. All opposed? No. All right. Motion passes 5-0. Yeah. You're back now. Yeah, you're on the list now. Yeah, policy revisions. You can stay up here. All right, that puts us into our information items, and you are next on our list.
All right, so a big pile of policies this time. I've heard from a couple of you. If these are coming to you for information, so if there's any that you have questions about that you want me to look into before I come back that I can get in touch with you about, I'd be happy to do so.
Board members, do you have anything?
I just had a question on BDDH, which is, I think, public participation, school board meetings. There was a paragraph added to the bottom Of course, this is an RCPS policy that we edited and approved back in February.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to know where the change for student participation came from.
It came from the VSBA, so I checked into your question today.
Okay.
There's on the VSBA notes, it will tell you the reason for the change, and there was a change in the Code of Virginia to include those two paragraphs, 14 and 15 in BDDH. I can send it directly to you so that you
The
can see
code?
the code.
Yeah, please.
So that you can see the reason for the addition.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
we wanted to keep it the way we had it in RCPS, but we took
Right.
what was legally required from the VSBA.
And added it.
But
yeah.
I'll send it to you.
That's what I figured. I just wanted to confirm.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Mhm.
See you next month. Dr. Shipley.
Chair Carlson, board members, you will find in your packet the draft. This is for information. I will be coming back in December for approval of our comprehensive plan. And as I mentioned earlier, Caitlin Gilkison and Katie Lapiro helped me take those bullet points that we have talked about and discussed for the last few months since June and put it into sort of a narrative. So, we can put this on the website, folks can understand it. When we started this conversation in June, we talked about the State Code of Virginia and what components were required. So we've tried to use that as sort of the template, and then we've added in our focus areas and tried to identify things that this board has wanted to set as goals for the next 5 years. I will, we've got, the priority areas, school safety, academic excellence, employment recruitment and retention, community engagement, student behavior and health, stewardship. We also have, we talk about assessment data and student success and what data we're using to measure that. We talk about high levels of student achievement. We also addressed enrollment changes and forecasts. So the things that we've discussed with capital improvement, right? So we took all of those different components and put it into this document that matches what would be expected from the Code of Virginia. So they're in here for you to review. I'm not going to read the entire 20 pages to you, but if you have any questions between now and our next meeting, please text me, email me, call me. Let's talk about it. We may want to tweak some language or add some pieces. I think everything that we've discussed is represented in here, but if we miss something, let's make sure we get it in here. So.
Thank you.
Can this be made available electronically?
Absolutely.
All right, we don't, no one signed up for public comments tonight, so that's not on our list. And so that takes us into school board questions and comments here at the end of our meeting. And I'll start with Ms. Berkeley.
I don't have anything. I just hope everyone has a safe and happy Thanksgiving.
Ms. Cave?
I just wanted to add that I wanted to give credit to Mrs. Rauschenberg for the video. She did that, put that together. I had nothing to do with that. That's all.
Ms. Hurst?
Nothing here, thank you.
Ms. Laura?
Ms. Cave, can you share that on social media, the GoFundMe page? I was trying to find it, I couldn't. So that's my only question. Thank you. And just wish everybody a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Dr. Shipley?
Two quick things. One, I want to thank the audience for your patience. We were running a little late, but we're making a transition, I think, with our school board and trying to have our personnel meetings and student matters and take care of those before the open session. And that way, when this meeting adjourns tonight, we're finished to go home, because by about 9 o'clock, I start to turn into a pumpkin, right? And so I don't want to be here too late, because bad things happen. And then the last thing I want to say is good luck to the Turner Ashby High School football team. They'll be traveling to LCA on Friday night, and I have full confidence in Coach Turner and his staff and those players to pull the upset. So we're looking forward to that.
Beat LCA. Let's go for it. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I don't have anything tonight. I will not be here at the next meeting. I'll be on a missions trip in El Salvador. I'm leaving the day after Thanksgiving. I'll come back on December 10th. And so I'll miss the December 9th meeting. But I would like to say to everyone, have a happy Thanksgiving and enjoy the time with your family and friends. And like Dr. Schiffler said tonight, be thankful. Think about something to be thankful for. I would end with this because I encourage some other people with that. But the Pilgrims, when they first came, they wasn't just thankful. I did a little research and been reading a little bit up on the Pilgrims when they first came in the first Thanksgiving. And they didn't just were thankful and share their thankfulness just with them as a group, but they opened up to their neighbors and shared in Thanksgiving with them. And so I would just encourage us this Thanksgiving to do the same thing. Don't just let it be with you and your family, but one thing in my family we've started a tradition in doing is inviting someone outside of our family to our Thanksgiving meal and trying to invite someone that's not used to an American meal and allowing them to eat all the delicacies that we have and all the fun things that we do. And also would like to share, maybe you didn't know this because I didn't know it, on the very first Thanksgiving, and they did the same thing we did. They also enjoyed athletic events. And we seem to do that on Thanksgiving as well. And so many of us will be watching football games and doing other things with family. So we seem to have kept that tradition throughout all these years. And so not only be thankful, invite someone over maybe, possibly, if you can. Share your thankfulness with them and have a good Thanksgiving. God bless you, and this meeting is adjourned tonight.